Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to be talking about my 2024 trend predictions. Happy New Year. This is the first, no, it's not the first video of the year. I already made one, but this is my first one where we're sitting down and talking. So Happy New Year anyway. But before we get into my trend predictions, I want to talk a little bit about trends. So first of all, I think trends can sometimes be a little problematic if people are like going out and buying a whole new wardrobe or a bunch of new pieces, and then when things go out of style, they want to get rid of them. I think that that is an issue with over-consuming. Just buying things, getting rid of them, never a good thing. Not really what I promote. I don't think that trends should be a rule, and I don't think things really go out of style. Things maybe become less popular, but in my mind, style is very personal, and fashion is purely a form of self-expression in my mind, and there's no right or wrongs. It's all about your own preference. The thing with trends is that everything comes back around. Fashion is cyclical, and I think we're seeing that more in the current day with a lot of vintage fashion trends coming back. That's just what's going to happen forever. Things are gonna get popular, lose popularity, people are going to be tired of them, and then eventually they're going to come back around when they feel fresh again. So these are just things that I think are going to regain popularity in this next coming year, things that are already maybe kind of gaining traction that I think are going to come up more in the mainstream, and we'll be seeing them more frequently. I like to look at trends as a reminder of the possibilities in fashion, because they can kind of come up and they reintroduce themselves maybe to people who have forgotten that these things are options in style, or to people who just haven't tried them out and are still like looking for their personal style. I think it's just a great way to display options, and we as people work in kind of like a hive mind, usually like a lot of the same things at the same time as like a whole speaking. So with these trends, I'm encouraging you to look at your wardrobe in new ways, discover ways to wear items that you already have that can like fit into these trends. A great way to experiment is if you have a friend and you both are kind of like wanting to experiment with a certain style, sharing items, borrowing items from each other. There's places where you can rent clothes too if you're wanting to try something out and if you're not sure that it's like 100% for you, before going out and buying things that you will later discover maybe don't fit with your own style, and then you have to just give them to a thrift store hopefully, or resell them, and just like creating new waste. But another good way is always thrifting. I always think that thrifting and just buying secondhand is a great way to get things that are new to you without creating more waste. So with all of that being said, let's jump in to what I think is going to become popular in 2024. Some of these things are fashion, some of these things are makeup and hair related. I'm just doing like style predictions overall, and that encompasses like anything that you can do with your body. So starting off with like some hair predictions, I think that structured haircuts are going to be very popular. In the last couple of years, we've seen lots of like wispy textured kind of cuts be popular, like 70s shags, mullets, wolf cuts. All of those are very textured and layered kind of cuts. I think we're going to see more like blunt styles become popular, like structured bangs versus wispy bangs. A lot of short cropped cuts I think are going to become popular. I've seen a lot of people jumping onto the bobs, which I'm happy to see because I'm a bob girly. More 60s, like early 60s styles, early mid 60s styles are going to become popular versus like the 80s and 70s wispy kind of wild rocker hair. I think we're going to see lots of like structured bubble flips, beehives, maybe some like mod cuts with like the sharp angles. I think a lot of that would be really cool to see. I think mixing metals is going to be very popular. A couple years ago, I feel like gold was all the rage, and then this last year in 2023, silver became like the thing. And I personally love both. I love mixing metals. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. It's honestly a lot easier when you're styling mixed metals because you don't have to choose certain things just because they're silver or gold. You can just wear whatever you want all together. I think it creates a really cool eclectic look. I also feel like in the past years, very minimal, simplistic jewelry was like on the rise. I think we're going to switch that around and go all in with the accessories. I want to see lots of stacked up jewelry. I want to see the mixed metals. I want to see different jewels and gem tones all collabed into one. I think that quirky accessories are going to become very popular, like little statement pieces that are unique. I just got these really fun earrings, which I'll pop up a picture of here, that are like these surrealist lover's eye Victorian inspired earrings. They remind me a lot of the Schiaparelli earrings. Kind of fun, unexpected pieces. I have this really cool feathered hat that I think is another good example of this. I have these vintage ski goggles that I've been wearing so much. As another example, I think like fun bags. Betsy Johnson creates a lot of fun, unique, and quirky kind of bags. But I think that this is gonna be the year of just adding like unexpected twists to your outfit. I think more carefree makeup is going to become even more popular. Last year was kind of like the minimalistic, clean kind of makeup I heard a lot about. I think that we're gonna go in the opposite direction of that, which I'm excited for. I think we're gonna look at more just kind of like carefree, haphazardly applied makeup, something that looks effortlessly cool. Lots of smeared eyeliner. I've heard a lot of talk about like indie sleeves coming back, which involved a lot of like smoky, smeary kind of makeup. Nothing that's too perfect, something that looks very lived in. And along with makeup, but also in fashion, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of like shimmers and glitters being popular. Glowy kind of makeup look. I think we'll be seeing lots of sequins, lots of glitter, lots of metallics in general. For some reason in 2023, red was really having a moment, and I love that because red is one of my favorite colors to wear specifically. But I think that we are going to take a twist on that and go with like blue being a statement, specifically in tights. I saw red tights everywhere. I think blue tights are going to be a next little fun thing. I love blue tights. I love my blue tights. I think that it's a cool, just kind of like different twist. I am always one for colored tights, and I think blue tights are gonna have a moment. This is just what I feel in the air. And then I'm guessing platforms for shoes. Ballet flats, they just had a whole thing. So I think we're gonna go in the opposite direction and look for some height on things. But the good thing about platforms is that they, unlike a stiletto, usually the heel isn't as high as like it seems, like your foot's not at quite of an angle, if you know what I'm saying. So there are some of the easier heels to walk in, and they just give like the extra pow. They make legs look super long. They can be worn casually with jeans. You can dress it up with a dress, a skirt. They can be worn in a number of ways. So I'm guessing platforms, and we kind of already see that with like the platform Uggs that are in the mainstream. And I don't really know her too much, so I can't speak too much on it, but Sabrina Carpenter is a performing artist, and I've seen a lot of talk about her shoes that she wears, and they're these really cool platform shoes, and I've seen a lot of stir over these shoes, so I think that that is gonna help catapult this into popularity. So thanks, Sabrina. Okay, and then vintage furs, especially since it's still cold out. I think that people are realizing that like the synthetic isn't any better really for like the environment wise. I definitely don't support modern fur production. I'm a big advocate for animals, but I think people are also waking up to the fact and realizing that the synthetic isn't really a good alternative because it's just plastic. So I think people are going to look more to investing in vintage furs, whether it be like coats, a stole, vintage muffs, which are really cool, especially if you want to like keep your hands warm but not have gloves, because then you can just take it out, you can use your phone, you don't have to worry about like removing a glove or anything like that. If you want to wear rings, you can wear rings and just have your hands in the muff. I think it's a really cool, unique vintage accessory that you don't see very often, and I'm hoping to see more of them. But I think just vintage fur overall, hats, earmuffs, I think people are going to want to spend more time looking for those kind of pieces and investing in those pieces. I think hip belts are going to become pretty popular with all this like early 2000s stuff floating around. Hip belts were really popular then. They were popular in the 60s as well, and I think that is just like one of the sexiest things that can be worn. Like, I love the way that it accentuates the hips and adds focus there. And it's a really cool rocker chic kind of element that can be added to many outfits. And belts are pretty inexpensive, especially if you're thrifting them. I think moon boots are coming back. I am so obsessed with these. It's sickening. Moon boots were created in the 70s, and I realized that people are not messing around with their winter shoe choices these days. People are looking for, you know, something comfortable, something warm, something kind of like a statement, and I think that moon boots are kind of a cooler alternative to Uggs. No hate to the people who love Ugg boots, but I feel like they're a little more unexpected. You can find some vintage ones online that I think are really cool, but they still make modern moon boots. They're really, really expensive. I still really want a pair, but they're just like a really cool statement piece and very vintage and nostalgic. I think that dressed down statement pieces are going to become a thing. Like, we have all of these cool, fun items in our wardrobe that we wear and we keep for like special occasions. I think that we're going to be seeing more of those pieces be integrated to like everyday wear, but worn in a way and with other items that makes it more of an everyday kind of a look. I really want to do a lookbook of styling statement pieces in an everyday way. Let me know if you want to see that. But I think that this is the year where we stop waiting for those right moments to wear the pieces, and we just wear them when we want to, and we just style them appropriately. Okay, and my last prediction is easy to add flair. So bows have become so popular. I know everybody's seen them everywhere, on hair, in makeup, on clothes, in decorations. I love them because it is such an easy thing to add and so affordable, because if you just get like a wheel of ribbon, you can get it for like $3.50 maybe, even cheaper if you find some at the thrift store, which a lot of times they sell them in like big bags and you can just get a bunch of them for very cheap. It's great. I love them. I think we're gonna be seeing more things like that you can easily add to any outfit, do in a jiffy, put it on, take it off, just like low commitment things like that. I think we're gonna keep seeing the bows. There's a lot of predictions going around saying that like bows are out. I don't think bows are ever gonna be out. Again, my view of trends is like different because I don't really think things should just go out. I feel like if you like something, just keep it and don't worry about if it's not popular anymore. Because fashion is so personal, I think it should be your own conscious choice. So I don't think bows are going out. Plus they're just like something so timeless that's been around forever. We might be seeing like less of them, but I don't think that they're going away, and I definitely don't think it's going to be in 2024. I think we're just getting started with this. So some more examples of some like easy to add flair would be pins and buttons and brooches, like easy things that you can just clip on to a collar, onto a scarf, on a hat, on your skirt, literally on anything. They're usually super affordable. You can find brooches at like any thrift store. You can find usually like a bowl of a bunch of random pins. Thrift stores or at antique stores, you can find them online. You can find new, like no problem at all. You probably have some of like your favorite band's pins around. I think that we're gonna be seeing them worn in other ways than just like on a canvas bag or on a backpack or something like that. I think like hair clips, different cool, just kind of unique hair accessories. Chains are also another thing that would be easy to pop on and off. You could easily just safety pin it to something. Removable collars that you can add to different outfits. Any easy and non-permanent way to like alter your clothes. I think that that is going to be taking off in this year, and people are going to be exploring different ways to do that. So those are all of my trend predictions for 2024. Let me know what you think is going to become popular this year. And again, remember that fashion is extremely personal. Nothing should ever really go out of style unless it's not for your style. Don't feel like trends are a set of rules that you need to follow, and if something is quote unquote out, that you need to like lose it, or if something's in, you need it. Because not everything is for everyone, and trends can be really problematic and cause a lot of overconsumption. So just move forward like mindfully and with that thought in the back of your head. Again, look for things from friends that you can borrow if you're unsure and you just want to give something a go, see if it sits well with you, how it makes you feel when you're wearing it. Shop secondhand. Look for ways to incorporate some of these trends into your style with items that you already have if you want to try something out. When you're experimenting, keep what feels authentic to you. Forget about the rest, basically, because what you put on your body is so personal and such a representation of you. The most important thing is just to dress in what makes you feel comfortable, what feels authentic to you, and what makes you happy. And just know that trends come in and go as just reminders of the possibilities of what your personal style can look like. I think what I love the most about the direction that fashion is going in, there's more value being put into finding your personal style. And I think that overall that is going to make people feel more comfortable in their skin, help decrease overconsumption, and I believe that'll just help create a more interesting fashion experience for everybody. So have fun. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sending lots of love. I hope that your 2024 is going swell, and I'll catch you in the next one.